Welcome to AJ Kenya Safaris. My name is James, a travel consultant and a travel content creator here at AJ Kenya Safaris. And I have made this video to give you all of the information you need to plan the best 3 days Masai Mara safari from Nairobi. I was in Masai Mara this weekend for 3 days, and throughout this video, I'm going to be sharing with you all of the incredible moments that I was able to film. I'm also going to tell you the day-by-day activities in our 3 days Masai Mara safari, the cost, as well as what is included and excluded from the cost of this Masai Mara package. So let me start by addressing the first question I normally get from my guest, and that is, which is the right airport in Nairobi to land at the start of the safari? And there are two airports in Kenya, international airports. One is the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi. And if you are interested in either business or you are coming to Kenya for a safari, you probably want to land in Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Our second airport is called Moi International Airport, and that one is located about 8 hours by road from Nairobi in a county called Mombasa. In most cases, you probably want to land at Moi International Airport if you are going for a beach holiday in Diani Beach. For the departure flight, I really suggest, if possible, get a flight that leaves Kenya in the evening. Anytime from 7 p.m. is okay. The rate at departure allows us to have a whole day of activities in Masai Mara. Then in the afternoon, we come back to Nairobi, check you in for your departure flight. So guys, that is it about arrival, booking the flight, and the departure time. In this segment, let me talk to you about the entry requirement. What is required for you to come to Kenya, okay, for your Masai Mara safari? The first requirement is an e-visa. You need to apply for the Kenyan visa online. In most cases, we are able to do that for our guests. And I have seen instances where guests are worried that maybe their visa isn't going to be approved. I have been doing this for a very long time, and I have never seen a case where anyone has been denied a visa. The only maybe instances where there are issues is guests who want to come very last minute. Maybe you just think you want to come to Kenya tomorrow. We wrote an application today. Sometimes there can be delays. So my advice is try and plan your trip in advance. The e-visa doesn't take a lot of time. It takes just 1 to 3 days and you'll have it. The requirement for a Kenyan e-visa are also very easy and straightforward. We need a copy of your passport. We also need a passport size of your photograph. We need your return plane ticket and confirmation of hotel booking. Of course, we shall be applying for what is called the single entry visa. It's also called a tourist visa. Those are the 3 requirements. Your return ticket, a passport size photograph of you, as well as a copy of your passport. Then confirmation of hotel booking. Maybe just quickly let me explain what I mean by confirmation of hotel booking. Every time you book a hotel here, they give you a service voucher. That is confirmation that you have made an accommodation and food booking with them. So our Kenyan authorities want to make sure you are actually a tourist, and that is why they ask for those documents. An e-visa, that one is covered. Me and my colleagues will be able to help you with the application, so no problem there. You'll also need proof of vaccination against COVID-19, okay? If you are vaccinated, you need just the proof of vaccination. You don't need any other requirement. You don't need to take a PCR test. Only pack your certificate. If you are not vaccinated against COVID-19, you'll need to take a PCR COVID test, not more than 72 hours of arrival in Kenya. There are some people who are exempted from this requirement. One of them is kids below 5 years. If you have a child and he or she is below 5 years, they are exempted from the PCR test, and they also don't require to be vaccinated. So for them, they get entry into Kenya without any restrictions. Then, if you are an elderly person or you have an existing medical condition that could cause complication in case you are vaccinated, you just need to have a doctor's note to that effect, and then you will be granted entry into Kenya. Other than that, those are the only two mandatory requirements for entry to Kenya. An e-visa applied online way in advance before you come to Kenya, and then proof of COVID vaccination, and if you are not vaccinated, a PCR COVID test taken not more than 72 hours of arrival in Kenya. In case you are traveling to Kenya from India, the Kenyan government doesn't require you to have a certificate of yellow fever vaccination. However, when returning from Kenya to India, the Indian government will ask you to show proof of vaccination against yellow fever. So in case you are coming from India, yellow fever vaccination is also mandatory. Other travelers from other regions, yellow fever, Ebola, malaria, those ones are optional. I cannot tell you whether you need them or not. That is something you need to consult with your doctor, and then they'll be able to advise you. So I think at this point we have covered the requirement of entry to Kenya. Upon arrival at the airport, this will be the day one. Day one, we exclusively reserve it for welcome to Kenya and the trip to Masai Mara. Before you come to Kenya, 1 hour before, our guide will be there. In most cases, I might also be there. I'll do really try to come and welcome guests. You might find my colleague called Gladys, you might find Harrison, you might find Simon or Felicia, or another member of our team. Day one of your 3 days Masai Mara safari from Nairobi, we have 2 or 3 important activities. One is the welcome. At this part, we go all the way. Upon arrival, you are going to find me together with your safari guide, waiting to welcome you to Kenya, and then maybe you can start your safari. After pleasantries and welcoming you, we can register for a local SIM card so that throughout the safari, you have Wi-Fi or mobile data, and you are able to keep in touch with your family, friends, work colleagues back at home. In some cases, guests normally choose to disconnect from the world, maybe enjoy 3 days here in Kenya without a lot of issues. So this is optional. We can register for a local SIM card, or maybe we can just have coffee, or simply start our safari to Masai Mara. There are 2 ways that we can go from Nairobi to Masai Mara. One of them is by using local flights. In this case, we would be transferring you from Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, which is where you'll have landed, to a local airstrip called Wilson Airport. At Wilson Airport, the distance between Jomo Kenyatta International Airport and Wilson Airport is just about 20-30 minutes on a good day, depending on traffic. Once we get to Wilson, you board your flight and you reef your Safari Land Cruiser here. On the other end in Masai Mara, you'll find another of our guide waiting for you. The flight from Wilson Airport to Masai Mara takes about 45 minutes. And no problem with luggage, because it's a question I get a lot. No problem with the baggage. You get 15 kilograms free in soft bags. If you have excess baggage, you will be charged extra. It's not a complicated process. They simply weigh your bags. If you have any weight above, you pay around USD 3 per kilogram. Alternatively, we can do a road trip from Nairobi to Masai Mara. The road trip takes approximately 5 to 6 hours, again, depending on the traffic. and the road is carpeted all the way from Nairobi to the gate of the park. During the road trip, of course, we are going to make 2 stops. The first stop will be at the Great Rift Valley viewpoint. Here we just stop for about 15 minutes, simply to stretch the legs, take a cup of coffee, enjoy the magnificent view of the Great Rift Valley viewpoint. Take some photos anyway. It's a good place to take photos, very scenic as well. Then we resume the trip. Maybe about 2 hours later, we shall find ourselves in Narok town. And guys, this is the last place. You are going to get a nice place to shop for any personal item you might need. It is important to mention that hotels in Masai Mara do provide towels. They do provide food. So don't start buying food. Don't buy towels. Probably don't buy anything other than personal items. In most cases, they do not provide dental kits. Dental kits are not provided. Soap is provided. Okay. So if you want to grab a toothbrush and a toothpaste, that is in order. Other than that, everything will be provided by the hotel. So don't buy a lot of items, mostly just items of personal nature. In Narok town, it's also a nice place where maybe if you want, we can have coffee. There is a Java shop there. We can just walk in, grab a cup of coffee, and 15 minutes later, we continue with our safari. Assuming we started around 6 a.m. in the morning, we should be getting to your hotel in Masai Mara around 11 a.m. to noon. At this point, we just check you into your hotel for lunch and leave you to relax for an hour or 2. After about 15 minutes of relaxation, we continue with our trip to Masai Mara. There are 2 options when now we get to the park. One, you are staying in a hotel inside the park. That means we pay the park fee for all 3 days. And it's important to mention here, park fee in Masai Mara is paid every 24 hours. Okay, so we need to pay 2 times for your 3 days, 2 nights Masai Mara safari from Nairobi. If you are staying outside the park, we'll just drive you directly to the hotel. We check you in for lunch. We leave you to relax and freshen up for an hour or 2. Then at around 3 p.m., that is when your guide will pick you for the evening game drive. If you are staying inside, that means you are either staying in Teeming Mara Camp, Salofa Mara Game Lodge, Ashnil Mara Camp, Mala Serena Safari Lodge, Tipirikwani Masai Mara, Base Camp, Kikorok Lodge, Mara Egai Wilderness Camp. There is quite a good number of hotels inside the park. In this case, we will pay the park fee at the gate for all days. And then we will probably be returning to the gate at the end of your safari. Otherwise, we clear the park fee and we do a main game drive and loot your hotel. You are likely to see a lot of animals: impalas, gazelles, zebras, giraffes, buffaloes, elephants, all sightings you might be able to capture as we go to your hotel. Upon arrival, the same thing as if you are staying outside, freshen up, we have lunch, relax for a while, and at 3 p.m., we start the evening game drive. And guys, you don't want to miss this. The last time I was there for the evening game drive, I actually was able to film a cheetah hunting. Guys, the evening game drive is so mesmerizing. Masai Mara changes every second. At one point, you might actually be lost on what to go and see because there is so much action happening. Our safari guides are locals. They know all of the best spots, so you can count on them to take you where the action is happening. Some of the animals you are likely to spot include leopards, large herds of elephants, buffaloes, cheetahs. Leopards are quite elusive, but in most cases in Masai Mara, they are easier to spot than in any other park in Africa. So your chances of spotting the elusive leopards are good in Masai Mara. We continue with our game drive, trying to take in as much as we can. And by 6 p.m., we'll have returned you to your hotel for dinner and relaxation. The idea here, guys, try and sleep early because tomorrow a lot of adventure will be waiting for you. So let me take a small break and then I'll tell you briefly about the 2 of your 3 days Masai Mara safari package from Nairobi. Day 2, this is the big day. We are planning a full day in the park. So the plan is to wake up early and have our breakfast. By 6:30 a.m., we should be heading out with packed lunch. So we start at 6:30, we go to the park, we spot as many wildlife as we can see, and around 12 p.m., we are going to find a nice place inside the game reserve and have our picnic lunch. Don't worry, safari guides are professionals. They understand wildlife behavior. They know you how to keep our guests safe. So you follow their lead and everything is going to be fun, enjoyable, memorable, and relaxing. So inside the park, you find a nice place, have your lunch, maybe for an hour or two, and around maybe 2 p.m., you resume the afternoon game drive. This time, probably, depending on what you agree with your guide and what you'll have spotted the previous day, during the previous day, evening game drive, as well as the morning game drive so far, you might go to the Mara River or you might continue looking for an animal that you might not have spotted yet. Then, around 6 p.m. again, we'll end the full day game drive. I believe today you probably are going to feel a little bit tired because, you know, it's a whole day. However, in most cases, you'll be using a Safari Land Cruiser. It's a very comfortable car made for off-road use, and with that one, chances are you'll be feeling okay, relaxed, and you'll have had a lot of fun. If you are using a Safari van is the budget-friendly alternative. Not a bad idea at all. However, it's less comfortable. You still get to see the animals, just as if you are in a Land Cruiser, only that it is less comfortable. There are some parts of the park, especially the rough ones, where a Land Cruiser can access, but a Safari van cannot access. That is the main difference. Otherwise, in terms of wildlife and game viewing, the 2 cars are okay. By around 6 p.m., we return you to the hotel. You have lunch. So guys, by around 6 p.m., we should have you back to your hotel for dinner. And just to mention, we can organize a bush dinner. This is optional for you at an additional cost. It's also possible to organize a sundowner inside Masai Mara or outside. And another activity you can include is a hot air. Balloon safari. But in most cases, a hot air balloon safari works well when guests have 4 days, 3 nights Masai Mara safari, because in that case, they would have 2 days of full day game drive. On one of the 2, they do the full day game drive. On the following day, they start with a hot air balloon safari and continue with an afternoon game drive. Otherwise, with only 3 days, 2 nights in Masai Mara, it might not be possible to include a hot air balloon safari. Otherwise, the whole experience might feel a little bit too squeezed for you. So that's it for day 2. We leave you to relax and see you on day 3, which is actually the last day of your safari in Masai Mara. So guys, now we are doing the day 3 of our Masai Mara safari. It is our last day in Masai Mara, but we are not going to leave without one last morning game drive. Fairly early in the morning, before 6:30, the idea here is you already had your breakfast. We check you out with your bags because we won't be coming back to the hotel. Rather, we will try do one last morning game drive This time taking you to a part of the park you had not explored, or trying to look for specific animal that you might not have captured yet. And the morning game drive is going to be short, maybe 2 hours, but that doesn't mean you don't get to see magnificent, memorable moments. We do the morning game drive, we finish with 8. Then by around 10 a.m. or 9 to 10 a.m., we exit the park and we go to a Masai village for the casual tours. So guys, I know you already, probably you have seen the Masais. They are the most photographed community in the world. Probably seen them in their red shukas. And our visit to their village, which should be around 1 to 2 hours, is your moment to learn about their culture. Learn how they make fire without matchbox. They do it the traditional way. Learn why in their community it is the women who build the manyatas, which are actually their houses. You get to learn about how they coexist with the wildlife, because Masai Mara is not fenced. That means the lions, the leopard, the cheetahs, the buffaloes, they can actually move from the park to the Masai areas, because Masais are herders. They are nomadic pastoralists. Learn how they coexist with the animals, okay? In the old days, the Masais would actually attack and kill lions and leopards when after they had killed maybe their cows or goats. But in modern times, there is an arrangement between the park management and the community. You also get to sing, jump, take photos with them, and maybe learn more about their initiation and marriage rituals. By around 11 to 12 p.m., we should be on our way to Nairobi from Masai Mara, arriving maybe around 5 or 4 p.m., which is good enough for your return flight. So that, guys, is all about the 3 days Masai Mara safari from Nairobi. I hope I have given you a lot of the information you need maybe to organize. Any question, I invite you to contact us via our phone number, our email, which is actually, you can reach me directly via james@ajkenyasafaris.com. You can also reach other members of our team. You can email safari offers at ajkenyasafaris.com. And we'll be happy to plan the best safari for you. So guys, that's it. Thank you.